Namaste and welcome to Online Trade Academy Trading Series. My name is Derek Zellick, Senior Instructor for Online Trade Academy. Last time we have talked about VIX and using VIX to spot turning points. This time I'd like to talk about traders' psychology. For those of you that trade for a little bit, you probably know that trader psychology is impacted. But I'd like to talk about trader psychology and the effect of news, how it has on trader psychology. You see, what very often happens, and what we have to understand, that when you listen to information, to read publication and news, you have to be aware of one simple idea and concept. When stock prices are rising due to either higher earnings, due to either better results for the corporations, what very often happens is the news is there to report the information. When the news is there to report information, you as an investor, many investors are following through and push the prices higher. But what very often happens, after that significant rise in price, very often there's too much speculation on investors' part of it, and it exceeds far beyond the expectations of the earnings announcements from the fundamental perspective. So when the news at that point is extremely bullish, well, you have to watch out that perhaps not to get into a trade at this late part of the stage. So when the news are extremely bullish, be very careful and start maybe taking profits from your table, because what will happen is very often you're going to see corrections. And conversely, when price is declining, news are going to become very bearish, and what will happen is when it's too bearish, price is going to adjust. So what I want to show you guys on charts, let's just take a look at it. When we have this bullish news information in conjunction with the bearish news information, and how does the stock really play out during those times. So let's go right into the charts. Okay, so here we are in the charts. I am actually in Trade Tiger, and I actually see here a few charts. So let me open up Nifty. Since we're talking about psychology, okay, I'm just going to zoom in here on Nifty. And what I'd like to point out to you guys is that just as, on our previous session we were discussing VIX, we were also seeing that perhaps when your indicators, and let me just bring up here, just one of the indicators right here. I'm just going to bring up RSI for just a moment, and you guys can relate to the information from our prior sessions. But very often your indicators are going to also point out to very oversold territories, and usually on these times your news are going to be very, very disturbing, very negative. You're going to see a lot of negative tone and news. You can actually look at the faces of the anchors of your news, and you will see a lot of sadness. So this will tell you very often this is the time basically to start actually accumulating shares, while the people or the retail traders are actually panicking during this time because they follow the news. And so it's very often you have to become more of a counter trader at that point. So when the news is very negative and you come to a point where price is at or near support and your indicators also show that information, well, this is probably the best time for you to actually step into a trade. And the same thing here, when you actually are going to see a very positive news, and you guys don't have to really go that far back. Just remember July 7th, actually news was extremely positive. And look, what happens right after that. So all I'm trying to point out, the relationship between price and news, very often news will lag the information, and yet is going to steer the retail trader to do just what as a trader you should not be doing. So when the news is very negative, look for important support level in the market, and basically don't be afraid to start taking these trades. When the news are extremely positive, start being very cautious about entering a position, and if anything, look for reasons why you should actually start closing your position if you have it on the up-rise move. So that's how I see it, psychology. That's how psychology shows up on charts. Okay, so as you guys have seen through the charts, trader psychology and news has a great impact of how we as traders or investors behave. So remember one thing, when the news get extremely positive, be very careful on opening new bullish position. If anything, start looking for reasons why you would want to start booking your profits, and maybe looking for signs of reversion where you can actually participate in the opposite direction. Same thing is true when the news are extremely bearish. as an investor, as a trader, start looking for these support levels where you can start participating as a buyer. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys on next series.